So again, when I go in to do a show, I have all of my papers pre-cut and ready to go. So I'll have a piece of ribbon that I'm going to use on the tag. I have the base of my tag and one of the modern label punches that we're going to use. This is the new Tasteful Trims die cut. Let me check. That doesn't sound right now that I said it. Yes, it is. Tasteful Trims die cut. It's 12 inches of rickrack and other, it's this one, remember? 12 inches of each of these little borders. Super, super cute. I just cut that into 3 pieces, so, well, actually this one's only in 2, that's a lie, so that everybody would have 4 inches or 4.5 inches of it. We need a little piece of designer series paper. This is what the back of this is what the whole card is made on, and then the card base itself. So the first thing I always do is just fold this in half, get it ready, and then set it aside while I'm working on everything else. This is just a half sheet of old olive cardstock. Now this particular one is the one we're going to do all of our work on. And you're going to take the Snowflake punch, this particular one right here, and you're going to punch out 7 snowflakes from here. So I've got them all right over here. Now for this one I used the multi-tombow glue so that you didn't see any adhesive hanging off from your snail. And just put a little bit of glue on the edge of each one. And the way I started this is I put the snowflake, center of the snowflake, right on the edge of the cardstock and glue it on. On this one, put a dot in the center and on each of the little branches there, and put it on again using the center of the snowflake, lining it up perfectly with the edge of the card. And then for the center, I did the whole thing. I just put a little bit of glue in the center and lined it right up with the top of the card. And you just space this evenly between the two. Give it just a second to sit down. And then you're going to do another row exactly like it. Okay? Now I have to find my finished one. Oh, here, over here. This is what it'll look like when you're done. Okay, so just take it, put it on the back side, make sure it's all nice and smooth and even, and then put the lid back on your glue because that thing continues to leak out on its own. Then turn it over and just trim all of this excess. Trim it off. This is kind of a way of giving your card a little bit of texture and a little bit of embossing look to it, but you don't have to have a big shot, you don't have to have a die cut, you just need a punch. And everybody could use a snowflake punch, right? Okay, then we're ready to finish. On my finished one, I had my stripes going vertically instead of horizontally, but sometimes you get down to the end of your designer series paper and they just go horizontally because that's what you have left. So put that on there. And then I gave everyone a piece of that trim. So just put your adhesive on here and line it up. And I just had them cut the excess off so that I didn't accidentally cut it too short and ruin someone's card. Yeah, ask me. I know about that. I've done that before. All right, backing up, let's get on a little piece of very vanilla cardstock. And out of the stamp set, we're going to take this one that says, "Even the naughty deserve something nice." I'm going to put this on the acrylic block. And if you have any trouble getting these little guys to seal or to stick, lick your finger, stick it on here, or if you're me, you just lick the block in front of the people and they just kind of look at you like you're weird, but they get over it. I'm going to use markers on this one to ink it up instead of an ink pad, which again is another way to upsell a couple of markers. If you've got people, instead of buying one old olive stamp pad, they would buy 2 markers. It's more money. And then just decide which letters you want where. And I'm going to do the nice in the cherry cobbler and in the deserve, on the deserve. And then everything else is just going to be inked up in the old olive. Just make sure you get it nice and inked up. Now, markers are not really made for rubber stamps, even though we use them on that. They're made to write and to dry instantly. So while we're doing this, it's actually drying. So you just have to huff on it a little bit reconstitute it, make it warm, and then stamp it out. And then take the small tag punch, which is behind me, and punch it out with the tag. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. We're going to punch it out with the tag punch, and this is the only punch that your customers are going to see. You have already pre-punched the back of these ready to mount because you don't want anybody to accidentally use the wrong punch on the wrong thing, and then you have to redo it, and it's quite a bit more trouble for you. Okay? So just ink it up, punch it out, and have this one ready to go. And then for the rest of the tag, I just took the little modern label punch. I'm going to put a piece of, or a little piece, yeah, you know, glue dots right there. Turn it over, put a little glue dot on the back, and just seal it. And then take a little Old Olive 5/8 inch grosgrain ribbon, or whatever ribbon you want, and tie it in a knot. When I'm doing something like this, I don't use the 3 times around rule. I just use enough to get my fat fingers in there. So when I tie a knot, I do left over right and flip this one straight up. I don't care if it's forwards or backwards, just flip it straight up. And then do right over left. And your knot will come out straight every time. And if you need to, you just stick your, you just stick your scissors under there, manhandle a little bit, and it'll come out nice and flat. I could actually do that much better, but that's okay. You've seen them online, you know I can tie a knot. Alright, there we go. Now, what I didn't do, and I need to back up and do that on the other cards, is we need to add a little bling. The other thing that I really wanted to sell this month were the jewels. I want to sell the rhinestone jewels, and I want to sell the pearl jewels. So what I did is put some on all of these projects, and I'll back up and show you the ones that I put on the other one. When you have people take these off, make sure that they get under them with their scissors and just get the mini glue dot that's underneath of it as well. Otherwise, they leave the mini glue dot on here and their rhinestone doesn't stick and it's wasted. So somewhere here, I usually am not this unorganized when I demonstrate, thank goodness, but I had to have everything out and the camera on the table, so I'm trying to figure out where I put everything. Find the Stampin' Dimensionals. Put it on here, and then take the very last snowflake that you had, and for this one I just used sticky strip, or I mean snail, because you're going to cover it up. Slide it under here, put it on there, and then take one of the different size jewels and put it in the center. Okay? And then put it on your card. I put some adhesive on my card since I already embellished all of this. It'll be bumpy if I run it over there. And just put it on. And then I always turn everything over and smash it down to make sure it's all nice and flat. And then that's the Make and Take card. Very nice because you have 2 punches, 2 tag punches, the Snowflake punch, the Modern Label punch. You're selling this die cut, you're selling designer series paper, you're selling 2 markers instead of 1 stamp pad, and whatever else is on here that I have forgotten. Oh, the cardstock, you know, they need that. So this is a great way to put a lot of stuff packed into one Make and Take. So that's what I usually try to do when I do the Make and Takes. Although I get tired of packing lots of stuff, it's really nice when you have it and they use it and they buy it. Alright, so I'm going to back up to this card for just a second because what I didn't do, because I was trying to talk ahead of myself, well, that's my finished one. Where's the one we just did, ladies? Somebody show me where it is on this table. Here we go. Right here. Pick up whichever size pearl you want and just show them that you can accent with the pearls as well. And I just put them on the edge of that little label just to add a little something to them. Okay? And that way they need both the pearls and the rhinestones. So here we have the 4 things that we just demonstrated. It took about 20 minutes, I think. I didn't stop to look, but it's not very long. I try to do my demonstrations about 20 minutes, and then I give them a good half hour to do their make and takes. I usually ask that some of the people have a treat that the hostess has prepared. The others start looking through their catalog and fill out the top part of their order form if they'd like to be on my mailing list. That's what I tell them, but they usually end up writing an order out while they're writing their name on there. And then I have 2 or 3 of them at a time come do the make and takes. I don't ever have everybody come do the make and take at the same time because I want them to hear what I'm going to say. Go look at your catalog, go, have something from your hostess because she took time to make it, and then we rotate out. When those are done, then 2 or 3 more come in. And usually the hostess doesn't always have a lot of room for everybody to fit, so that's a great way to do it. And also normally, as a demonstrator, you're usually stuck in a dark corner in a living room to do your demonstration. So I have a folding table that I take with me. If I have an outlet, I'll take a light so that they can see what I'm doing, but normally we're not that lucky. And then I always move to the kitchen or a better, more well-lit place to do the make and take. So this is what I'm doing for my September workshops. I hope that this helps you. Again, these are not going to be online for my customers and my readers to see. These are just for you guys. So I hope you enjoy them. Good luck. Get out there and do a show. Talk to you later. Bye.